until you can restate the definition in your own words. Okay, until you can do that, you are not ready for the test on that material. And so that's why you need to know the meaning of each word in there, and then you try to figure out how would I say this or explain it in my own words. Once a person does that, once they say that means it's a type of tax on what comes in or out of the country, the next word out of my mouth is and this is when they're about ready to start choking me because I keep pushing them for more. What I want them to be able to do is one more thing, and if they can do this, they are ready. And that is, I want them to be able to give some kind of a fact or an example of that word that they either learned in a lecture or from their textbook. So I'll give you the little example here. The person says this, and then I ask them and they say it's a type of tax on what comes in or out of a country, and I say and they say, and I remember in our book it said that the United States imposed a tariff on Cuba in 1960. Some fact like that, okay? If you're able to do all of this, you're as ready as you're ever going to be, and it should be true that no matter how the teacher asks this on the test, no matter how they word it, shouldn't matter. You should be able to get it right because you know way more than just the words. I always tell people that I could find a child, if I could find one who's like 4 years old, and I could bring them in here and I could teach them this definition, and they'd probably learn it faster than anybody in here, and then they could be running around the room, and all of a sudden I'd say stop, and they'd be like this. And I say tariff. They say a system of duties on imports and exports. Good, go. And then they just keep running around. So they nailed it. They got it perfect. Does that mean they understand it? No, they just memorized a bunch of words. So some people get so excited when they can say the back of the card and they're thinking yes, but then problems occur. So if you go through the time it takes, whether it's just a minute or two or more with each word to be able to do all of these, that should mean you're ready to go when the test comes. Okay, any questions on this one? Okay, and is the sign-in sheet making it around? I got one more thing I want to go through. Okay, anybody miss signing it? Okay, I'll get that from you afterward. The last thing that I wanted to go through with you involves the use of a handout that is actually yours to just take with you and to read through on your own when you get a chance. I'm going to kind of hit some highlights of this, point out a couple of things to you for these last 5 minutes or so, and then I'll go ahead and send you on your way. And again, this has a lot of good information, even more than what I'm going to be able to explain. Let me give you a bunch more, and you can pass those back. Okay. Can you? Yeah. Thanks. Okay, on the front side of this handout, it talks about reasons why people forget. And then on the back, it gives ways to improve your memory. That's in addition to the things that I've talked about today. Well, I want to show you a couple of things on the front first, on the why we forget. Number one is a really obvious one, but it says negative self-concept. It says the people who are convinced that they cannot remember are most apt to forget. So when I work with a student and they're in a particular class and they show me all this that they have to learn, and I say, how are you going to learn that? They say, I'm not. I can't learn that much. If they keep saying that and keep thinking that, guess what? They're never going to learn it. And so one of the ways to sort of fight that is to have confidence in your abilities. And if you feel, boy, I don't have any memory abilities, well, that's what these workshops are about. That's what Learn 11 class is about, which I teach. And all that is to give you the strategies, but you have to develop confidence in your ability to